Hello there, this is Patricia from Pinky's World, and today we're making a cute little 2 by 1 inch square box with the fancy top using the Like an Animal Designer Series papers, which you'll be happy to hear are now reduced down to £11.20 for the pack. And they're the most beautiful papers, definitely worth your money if you like making wee fancy boxes and whatever for parties or table favours at special occasions. You know, the papers are gorgeous and you're going to make so many nice wee things out of them. It's worth your while getting it now. The ribbon is called, it's a shimmer gold ribbon, and it's also reduced down to £6 and 7p, so you get lots of ribbon in that. I'm definitely going to invest in another roll of that because I use it a lot. The wee gem I used, it's from these. They're no longer available, but there is loads of gems in the reduced section or the return section, so be sure and check it out. And the bottom part I have gone with soft suede because it's the perfect match for the other side of the paper. I love that side too, mind you, even if you didn't want to go all shiny. So to make this box, as you'll see, I've made a nice wee indentation here to allow my ribbon to go through. So I'll explain all that to you now, but it's really easy to do and it really finishes the box off nice. So you're going to need a piece for your base at 4 inches by 4 inches and a fancy piece of paper or light card for the top, and it needs to be 3 inches by 3 inches. So we're going to do a bit of scoring. So we're scoring this, the base, at 1 inch. So you can score it at 1 and 3 on both sides, or 1 on each side, and just spin it round. And then for your wee fancy bit, I'm going to score it on the other side. For this, you want to be able to allow yourself a wee bit of room for setting the lid on, so it's not going to overly tight. So I have pulled it out from the edge a wee bit. I'll zoom in and just give you a quick look if I can. So you can see that's it butted right up. You can see it right up to the end there. Oh, we just want to slide it out a fraction. You can see that wee dark bit coming along there. That is enough for you to do that. So I'm actually going to set it sideways so that I can hold it a bit better. Set it in. I'm sort of lining that up with the last wee notch, but there's a gap at that notch, and I'm leaving that gap for, I'm actually going to stand up. This is not a good angle for me, but it hopefully is a better one for you. So we want to go at a 1/2 inch. I always keep my marker at 1/2 inch here so that I'm in the right place, and just do that on all 4 sides. Try and leave the same gap each time. It's awkward when you're working with just 1/2 inch, but most times you can get it done easy. Just don't go out too far. It's just a 1/16 of an inch. I'm sorry if I'm shouting because I'm very close to the mic here, so I might sound very loud. Just turn me down. Put me on mute. Last one. Whoops. Hopefully that will have behaved itself and I haven't moved in the wrong direction. So that is our boxes and bases decided. So we're going to punch a hole at either side of this to feed our ribbon through, like I showed you there. It's fed right through the box. So it's not wrapped underneath, it's fed through. And makes for a nice little decoration. So you want to center this as best you can. Put it right up. If you have this trail punch, it's really good. I'm going to zoom back out. So center it in the middle of your square there so that you have equal parts on either side. And just press. Don't be looking at my bad cut. I was going into the cupboard to get something and I just slit the whole skin. Took my eye off the ball for a second and misjudged it, so I'm in trouble. I bruised the same hand on the door the other day, so I'm hanging together hoping a prayer here. So again, butt it up the opposite side and punch another wee hole, and that is your wee slits for the ribbon. Great wee punch to have. So we also want to make sure that we're cutting this the right way, because we need, when your slits are at this side, we need these to come in and fold over to close the box to cover it. So we want to keep them attached to this. So we're actually going to cut it down here to make our joins for the box. So cut it down that 1 inch line. You can chop a wee bit off this side just to get rid of the clumpy bit, and another wee bit from the other side. And then when you fold up your box, this will fold up and your ribbon will be stuck here, and that will hopefully cover most of the joint of the ribbon. So make sure when you're cutting it, if you're using the wee slit, make sure to cut it at the side where the slit is. Cut it the other way, it's not going to cover it, and you'll be left with like rough looking ribbon inside. So again, go round to the opposite side, cut up that inch right at the score line there, give it a wee trim, not too much because you don't want to lose this stuff for covering your ribbon. Same at this side. So, okay, now cut our ribbon. We need 2 7-inch pieces, so I'm just going to set my ruler down to measure that. And this is the lovely ribbon I was telling you about, which is reduced. So just go down to 7 inches. I think it's plenty. Just cut 2 the same size. Oops. Oh, come on. It's very slippery. So before we build our box up, we want to do our scores. So the bottom is nice and firm and well supported. This is not a colour I would use a lot of, but it works really well with this gorgeous paper. It actually makes it look richer. So in order for us to seal our box, we want to put our ribbon in first, and I'm just going to put a few bits of tape runner, any shape. It doesn't have to be permanent, so you're going to add glue to it anyway. Thread your ribbon through from the outside to the inside, and you can actually straighten that bit up so that you haven't a tail hanging. Oh, sticking to the other side. Set that in so that it's not fully down to the bottom, but it's certainly held, and it'll stick to your tape for you. Same with the other side. Straighten your ribbon, thread it through from underneath, and let it sit like so. So that is it held in. We're now going to put glue on these wee pieces, and I'm using wet glue to get a good firm hold. And this glue will also help your ribbon to stay put. So we'll do this side first. So just put it in, close it up so that you're lining those corners up nicely. Just make sure you've got a good, nice, neat corner there. Bring it over here. Same. Check your corners before you seal it. And then just go in with your bone folder and press that down so that it takes to the ribbon underneath that. And you can see that gives it a lovely wee clean look. You just see a wee peak of ribbon there, which is natural enough. If you don't happen to have that punch, you can cut a slice yourself. Don't recommend it because I'm not very good at it. But if you haven't, what you can do is cut yourself a rectangle here, which would be 1 inch by 1 inch, no, sorry, 2 inches by 1 inch, and then trim it down so it's just slightly smaller than that, and put your ribbon in the same way I did. Actually just put it in It'll not be over the top, it'll not matter. Just let it come out here and then cover that with your wee extra piece. Just another idea if you haven't got that. But that wee punch is a godsend to have. I actually ordered it just for that wee slit because I thought it was so cool. So go ahead and put your ink, or your glue on this side. And we're going to do the same. Build that up. Hold it nice so you're happy with the join. Same with the other side. Just so that it's all looking really nice and neat and tidy. And again, go back in with your bone folder and give it a wee press. And that covers you perfectly. So now we want to go to this end. So you want to decide which side you're going to have at the ribbon side. That's where you have to put your slits. So we're going to fold it up and give it a wee nice neat crease. Just do all four there. I'm just being gentle with it so it don't crack the paper, but it is foil and foil tends to like to show it's there. So we're going to decide, say, these two. Doesn't really matter because it's square. So you know that this is 2 inches from score line to score line, and we'll just put a wee tick at that opposite side, score line to score line, and put a tick at 1 inch. And then just use your scissors and go in where the line is, and you're going to cut it up to that score line, that indentation there. Same on both sides. And then you're just going to take it and fold it so that it joins that corner there, and just give it a wee crease. Same on this one. Fold it over so it's lining up with the crease line of the 1/2 inch that you made earlier. Crease it down and just do the same with the other side. Haven't I done that right? No. Well, you can do it that way, but I actually wanted it the other way. So score to the outside so you're seeing the nice bit of paper. So work with the front facing you. Fold that up no higher than your line so it's nice and neat. Same on that side, and it just brings that matching base colour through. If you don't want that look, go the way I did do it originally. So you want to put a wee drop of glue to hold those now. Not too much. This is shiny card, so it doesn't like a lot of glue on it. Just enough to hold the points down. And you might need to hold it for a while. It's like glitter card, you can't, it won't take right away, it just refuses to do it. So the same on these wee ones, just a wee speck and spread it. And just make sure you get it out to that point so that it does stick down. That's the point that'll pop up on you if you don't. Just trying to spread what I've on there to make it tick. Press them back up and give them a wee score. So that has given us the nice wee finish, so we can go ahead and cut our bits and pieces. So you want to cut up that corner and just chop a wee bit of it off. Oops. And just work your way around doing that in the 4 corners. Doesn't matter which corner or which side you cut this time. They're hard to see, but you'll see it on your own when you're doing it. So we're going to start sticking these now. Just make sure they're folded the way you want them. Again, don't go too mad with the glue, just enough to hold it. So just start making your wee box up. Again, watching out for those corners, and if you stick them up quickly, you should be able to go across to your base and use it to make sure that everything is nice and neat. So if I pop that on, remembering to put these round where your ribbon is, and then just push your corners so they're nice and neat. And you can pop in your 2 biscuits if you're going to use biscuits. Whatever gift you decide, could hold a wee candle maybe. They're probably a bit too big, they're pushing it up. I'll take one out. That's better. So tie that in the wee bow now, making sure all your bits and pieces have taken okay. And with this ribbon, it doesn't matter which side you get, all of it is nice and shimmery, so it'll look good anyway. So to decorate it, I just stamped out of this stamp set here, threw it together, which is also in the retirement list, and it's down to £8.80, so a great price. Again, I'm using the soft suede spot here, and I'm going to punch myself using the Best Label punch here that comes with the Alpha Best. If you buy it as a bundle, you'll get it. So I'm going to ink the thank you, but you could put happy birthday and just put it right across it, you know, or happy and birthday top and bottom, just cut it lots of ways. I meant to actually stamp this first. I think it's easier if you stamp it and then position your punch, because I want the wording down at the bottom and room at the top for my wee gem. You can also go ahead and punch one out of the matching card. It's going to be the same size, but if you take the one you've done and go across from one point to the other, you'll see a wee edging. And the same here, cut the side edging off. And then that wee bottom edging. It keeps you straight than you trying to cut it yourself. And then just stick it on top of the one in the soft suede. It gives it a wee bit more definition then. So it'll just show a wee bit of it for you. A wee bit of trim around it, you know. And then you want to add it to your box. Where's my glue scissors? Nowhere to be seen. Just using these leftovers. And we'll just stick it to the front of the box. You don't have to put anything if you didn't want to use stamping at all. Oops, Don't put it upside down. So just sort of in the center there. And then we'll finish with a wee gold gem just to tie in with it. Oh, they want to come out. Goodness. So just one. These are fairly big, these ones. So just in the center. And that is done, says you, thank goodness. That took a wee bit of time, but I think it's worth it to get that nice wee one. The ribbon hole is lovely, and then the wee fancy edging. So that is it. Two done. I'm going to have to take that biscuit out of there. It's pushing it up too high for me. So decide what you're going to put in them. Make it to measure. You know, go 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, 5 inches, as high as you want to go. But just keep it square, and remember to pull out your base. Cut the base the size, the depth you want, and you'll have your regular square, and then whatever depth will decide on what size you want to go with. So you can make it in any size you want. That's me, and don't forget to do your wee loops, and remember to check out the reduced stuff. There really is some good bargains there. And if you're shopping with me, if you haven't got a demonstrator already, that is my host code for the month. I'd love you to use it, and then I'll be able to send out lots of stuff to anybody at shops. So I'll catch you all again later. Thanks for watching now. Bye.